Hello everyone, welcome to a new reading. Today I'm going to do a revisiting of Coups' individual reading, and only because my younger sister was pushing for this reading. Like, you guys don't know how much she was pushing for it, and I thought, since it was from the first ones, I was actually not super satisfied with his reading. So now that I have the format down for individual readings, I think it is good to revisit it and do it again with, I guess, more decks and more knowledge of how this setup goes and everything. So yeah, this reading will have his current energy, his career, his love life, and any healing messages that come through. We have his tarot and his oracle. I tried to use the same oracle and tarot that were there, for the exception of this 3. Because I felt like using new ones, but also I wanted to use some of the old ones to see if the same cards come up again or not. I don't really remember what his reading was about, since it was like a year and a half ago or more than that. I don't remember the exact date right now, but my editor monkey will probably put it there in case you guys want to get the real information out there. Also, in the description below, I will have the timestamps in case you guys want to jump in between sections, or if you want to watch the whole thing. Then let's get right into his current energy to check out how he's doing right now. So let's see, how is Coups currently doing? Oh, so we have the Devil reverse. Let's see what that's all about. So maybe he's under the illusion of something happening. He may feel trapped. He may feel burdened a little bit with his work. But let's see, what's this Devil all about? We have Death reverse and the 10 of Pentacles. So with Death reverse, there's a resistance to change or resistance to transformation, as well of being under the illusion of something. Maybe society is putting a dent or burden on Coups that is making him he's like focusing more on his work, because the Devil is Capricorn energy. So he's focusing more on his work, in his public image, or in the things society is expecting of him, rather than focusing on himself. And because of that, it's causing him to resist transformation and change, because he's probably thinking, instead of focusing on myself, I should be focusing on this career that I'm working on, or this projects, or do what I'm expected of, rather than give himself the time out that he needs for that transformation. So he's resisting change somehow, which, now that I think about it, that energy was big in the 17 group predictions of 2022, being resistant to change somehow. Also, we have the 10 of Pentacles with the energy of Mercury in Virgo. So maybe Coups is communicating and organizing his ideas on how he wants his life to be, how he wants his legacy to be, how he wants future generations of his life to go. So maybe he's already planning, like, oh, I want this in my future life. I want it to look like this. I want my career to look like this in a couple of years. So maybe he has already like a 10-year plan of his career, or his dreams, or stuff along those lines. But with the 10 of Pentacles, we're talking about the end of something, being fully abundant, being able to be independent and support other people financially, with that 10 of Pentacles energy. So I feel that Coups has reached that point where material wise and physically he's doing okay for himself. So maybe right now is just a point of transformation for himself. Maybe learning how to communicate better, maybe learning how to organize his ideas, or just learning how to work in his communication. Let's see what else is going with Coups' current energy. 2 cards just flew out. We have the 6 of Cups reverse and the 8 of Wands reverse. Okay, so something from his past may be coming through and he doesn't want to pay attention to it, or Coups is denying the inner child healing that he has to do, and because of that he has a sense of being having scattered energy, or instead of going up a ladder, he's going down a ladder. Something about again, the resistance that Escoops is going through is not doing proper shadow work and not doing proper healing for himself. Usually when we talk about the Six of Cups, we're talking about the past. We're talking about people coming from the past relationships, or stuff along those lines. But when we're talking about an individual, in this case Escoops, we're talking about someone that is struggling to do that inner child healing. Here we have the symbol for the sun in Scorpio, so I do feel there's a big, strong transformation that Escoops has to go through, probably to learn a little bit more about himself or understand the process and transformation that he is going through. Here we have a Mercury in Sagittarius, so learning how to speak about change, learning how to speak to other people outside of his culture and open up his mind by learning about other people's cultures and stuff along those lines. So maybe there's a sense of Escoops having to learn how to communicate with himself and being able to connect with his inner child, and one of the ways that he can do that is by consuming the culture, the ideas, or the thoughts of something outside of what he's used to. It doesn't even have to be from different cultures of his own. It just has to be someone that thinks very differently from him, or someone that has a very different point of view, which will allow Escoops to center his energy and his focus to learn how to heal himself properly. So it seems that's what he's currently going through. Let's see what else comes through. Oh, I felt those. We have the Fool and the Queen of Cups upright. So with this energy, we have the air element and then water. So there's a sense for Escoops that he has to nurture himself. He needs to blossom, nurture, and because there's a sense of fertility here with this Queen of Cups as she is pregnant and holding her belly. So there's this sense of like taking care of himself, healing and nurturing something. So it could be a project, it could be his emotions, or again, going back to nurturing his inner child. Here we have the Fool. The Fool talks about a new beginning, a new chapter, and taking that leap of faith and trusting the universe that they have your back, and they're gonna be there for you, that type of energy. Here we have a loyal dog, and the Fool takes all he needs. He doesn't take any other baggage besides the stuff that he actually needs for his journey. So, travel light type of energy. And also in this deck, the Fool is holding onto an egg that hasn't hatched yet, which makes me think of the Queen of Cups and how she's pregnant, but she hasn't given birth to that baby. So this kind of tells me that Escoops is currently going through a transformation or a period where he is learning how to communicate with his emotions in such a way that he can find relaxation, tranquility, and also give birth to a new version of himself, or a new perspective that will allow him to transform his self as well. So definitely Escoops is going through a journey of emotional emotional weight. Let's not necessarily call it baggage. I don't feel it's necessarily something super bad, just important. The other two cards that we have for Escoops' current energy is the Two of Wands with Mercury. Let me bring it back. The Two of Wands with a Mars in Aries, and we have here fire and earth element with the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy, analyzing, observing, and taking it slow. Slow and steady wins the race. And the Two of Wands is talking about someone that is in their comfort zone and thinking of taking action. Someone that feels like they have the world in their hands, and because of that, they are slowly becoming ready to take action and take on the world and go out of their comfort zone and take those risks. However, Escoops is still within his comfort zone. He is slowly thinking and thinking of how to take action and take on the world. He's analyzing, observing, gathering information, data, and all that he needs to slowly start taking action into what motivates him, what inspires him, and what he desires and what he's passionate about. He's slowly going through that. And you'll think someone that has a Mars in Aries is probably very impulsive, and I'll answer, definitely. However, with this Knight of Pentacles being right next to this Two of Wands, it feels that Escoops is holding back from taking that action and staying within his comfort zone. Here we have a Lion, so it makes me think of Leo energy. But Escoops is like taking some time off before, pausing and relaxing before taking action, because he's analyzing the situation. He's trying to things one step at a time. He's trying to calm down. He's trying to not make an impulse decision, trying to not just take action and be reckless. He's taking his time. He is also envisioning the world that he wants to be by feeling like he's at the top of the world. He's slowly realizing what it is that he wants from it, but he's doing it from the comfort of his comfort zone. So he's not taking action yet. He's just thinking of what actions to take. And also here we have the Two of Wands standing on calm waters, which makes me think that one of the things that Coups is doing is that he's doing a very good job in connecting with his emotions in order to understand what it is that he feels comfortable with and what he doesn't feel comfortable with, and how to break free of that, or how to work towards something that he feels a little bit more safe with. So let's see. What else is going on with Coups' current energy? We have the Four of Swords, so taking a break to analyze the situation better. Here we have Jupiter in Libra, so expanding his balance, his harmony, learning from different ways of how to take care of himself, meditating, taking a break, and connecting with himself to better understand how he feels, and to have a calm mind, heart, and soul, that type of thing, to be completely calm and ready to take action. Definitely connecting with himself to have that harmony within him. That's what he's doing right now. The other cards I just kind of fell. Here we have the Six of Wands reversed with Jupiter in Leo. So he's slowly working. He doesn't feel like he doesn't feel victorious. He doesn't feel like he has trump over anything. He's still working towards something, and I feel that his sense of harmony is what's helping him slowly build into the victory that he wants. So with the Six of Wands reversed, there's also a sense of he may not be able to acknowledge the wins that he has had, or he hasn't acknowledged the victories that he has had in life. And I think the time off is what's helping him see and analyze the situation for its reality, rather than just letting it be. The other two cards that he has is the Seven of Wands with a moon in Aquarius. And here we have the Knight of Swords reversed with a fire and air element. I had to turn it so I could see it clearly. So this Knight of Swords actually makes me think of someone that is victorious. If you look at it, it feels like he's in a heroic pose, as you see the dynamic pose that the horse is in. And also the knight pointing his sword upright, almost like having all the knowledge at his hand. And also this flower blooming. However, with it being reversed, it definitely feels like Coups doesn't feel successful. He doesn't feel victorious. He doesn't feel like he has done a good job. However, with this moon in Aquarius, it feels like Coups is constantly striving to be better, striving to be unique, striving to do things differently, striving to go out of the box and not be like everybody else, go against the current, going against the normal things people do with this moon in Aquarius. But with the Seven of Swords, we're talking about someone that is being very secretive, keeping things to themselves, someone that is a little bit low-key, that type of energy. So I feel that Coups has not shown this side of himself to anyone necessarily. And here you see like this person looking at the egg that hasn't hatched yet. So that made me think of the Fool energy. So it seems like Coups has something under his sleeve that he's working on, and he's meditating upon it. He hasn't had victory with it, and I think that's why he hasn't spoken about it, because he hasn't succeeded in his mission. But it's something outside of the box, something unique and something different. I don't know necessarily what he's working on right now that will make him have that mentality, but whatever it is something that he dearly cares for and nurtures, and is waiting for it to take its course and do its thing. With this with this Knight of Swords reversed, it feels like Coups is trying not to be reckless. He's doing his best to look at things, observe, analyze, and making sure that he's taking things one step at a time, slow and steady type of energy. And he's trying his best to not be reckless about the decisions and the things that he wants to do. Okay, so last cards to see how Coups is currently doing. Okay, that's good. So the first card that came upright is the Ace of Swords with air element on both sides. Usually when you see the Ace of Swords, you're talking about a bunch of information coming through, a bunch of knowledge coming through, and divine messages as well. So it feels like the universe is sending Scoops a bunch of downloads to understand himself, understand his situation, and what message he wants to convey and stuff. So that could be the egg that he's nurturing and helping grow. Also, with this Ace of Swords, it's pointing up, so it's supposed to show a sign of victory, and the thorns is, in this case, is making me think of someone that's going through a lot of difficulties in their crown chakra. So it definitely feels like Scoops is getting a lot of information, divine downloads, and it's hard for him to ground that information, so he needs to continue meditating and going through those fears if there's something he's afraid of. And because of that, it's not necessarily a victory, but it will be definitely beneficial and a tool necessary for his growth. The next card that we have is the Three of Pentacles with Mars in Capricorn. So definitely whatever information it is that he's getting, it will help his business, his career, his work, and his reputation. However, with it being reversed, I do feel that the information he has is not going to benefit him or help him yet to work with other people, because he hasn't become an expert at the information that he's gathering. Usually with the Three of Pentacles, we're looking at people that are experts working together to make a project possible and make it happen and flourish and manifest physically. So it's three people working together, different expertise, different areas that they're very good at working together to be on the same page. But with it being reversed, I feel like Scoops hasn't found that balance or hasn't gotten the information to be a reliable expert in the area that he's focusing on or working in. So with it being reversed, it's just Scoops is there's still a lot that he has to learn before he can be leading his branch of information or whatever it is that he's learning or working on. The next card that we have is a Three of Swords reverse with here with the Saturn in Libra. It feels like Scoops is maybe having a lot of difficulties and limitations with his relationships. So what I mean by that is that right now Scoops could be struggling to connect with the right people. He may be struggling to, okay, if this is not about people in the sense of partnerships, it definitely is about romantic relationships. Now, I was thinking it was about business and partnerships and even friendships if it came down to it, because of the Three of Pentacles. To me, the Three of Pentacles means business, projects. But with this Three of Swords, of course, we're talking about heartache. With it being reversed, it can mean two things. He's getting out of the heartache, or he can't let go of the heartache and that pain that someone may have caused him. Now, I think it's someone, because we're talking about a Saturn in Libra, so it's Saturn is a very difficult teacher, very strict, very firm, and it is a planet that doesn't care to bring us some limiting relationship, well, in this case relationships, because we're talking about Libra, or putting someone out of harmony in order for the individual to put themselves in harmony. So I do feel that with this Three of Swords reverse, we have a sense of Scoops having difficulties with relationships, or he hasn't let go of a romantic one that he's been having a lot of hardships with, potentially. So I do feel that we're going to uncover a lot more of this information in his love life. But for now, let's jump into his career to see what's going on there. Because it feels like there's a big thing, as we saw here and here. That seems to be about himself. So it might come up in his healing messages. So yeah, let's just jump into his career and see what's going on there. So now let's talk about Scoop's career. This time I brought all the cards down so I don't do what I did in the previous reading where I forgot an oracle deck until much later. So let's see. So what is going on in Scoop's career? So we have air. Communication seems to be very important for Scoops right now, and his career, as he had the Ace of Swords. Here we have Pisces. Yeah, intuitive downloads. These two cards together make me think of that Ace of Swords that we saw earlier. So there's a sense of communication, balance, harmony, justice. What else goes with the air element? Communication. It's self-expression is very important. Communication doesn't have to be just through speech, written, or art. Self-expression can be in any way, shape, or form. It could be the way that he thinks, the way that he speaks, the way that he dresses, the way, his energy talks about his expression somehow. Of course, his body language, how he carries himself, all of those things definitely carry value to who S Coups is as an individual. But with this Pisces energy, we're talking about being super intuitive, bringing down messages, that being maybe a bit aloof, maybe a bit dreamy, maybe being able to talk about things that are not there. So I do feel that in S Coup's career, it will be very beneficial for him to express himself and be able to use his intuition very wisely. I do feel that life may be encouraging S Coups right now to show a side of himself that people usually don't see, and that is his intuitive side. Now, if I am correct, S Coups could have a Saturn in Aries, or he could have a Saturn in Pisces. So what's going on with S Coup's career? This card just kind of came out flying, and we have Cheol, Angel of Truth. So definitely those downloads are bringing a lot of information, valuable information to S Coups. I don't know how that will be important or how that works in his career, but it's bringing a lot of enlightenment. So S Coup's third eye and crown chakra are going insane. So maybe it will be reflected in his lyrics, or it will be reflected in the way that he is expressing himself and showing himself off. I know that 17 has had a few fan sites not so long ago, like in this past couple of days. So I don't know how you guys have seen him in those fan sites, how he expresses himself, but maybe that could be a hint of his transformation and his change. Yeah, there's this torch is making me think of the Olympics. So maybe during the Olympics, he got a transformation, or like a knock on wood, not a knock on wood, but like life knocked on his door and was like, hey dude, we gotta get working, something along those lines. So S Coups has been enlightened, and he will transform and show in his career. There's a sense of going with the flow, as we have right here, thinking a lot and opening up his mind. That's what it feels like with that air imagery. The other card that we have is Dumas with Angel of Dreams. So it seems like S Coups is dreaming a lot. Seems like he's getting a lot of downloads through his dreams, through his visions. Pisces is a very intuitive sign. It is definitely a zodiac sign that you will connect to dreams. Definitely a sign that you will be like someone that gets maybe, what is it called, when premonitions of sorts, that kind of thing. But here with the Angel of Dreams, we have an individual that is dressed in yellow, surrounded by blue. So blue talks about the throat chakra, which is all about truth, speaking up your truth, self-expression, and all of those things. And the yellow makes me think of the solar plexus, which talks about confidence, optimism, and creativity. So I do feel that S Coups' self of speaking up and saying his truth is helping with his confidence, and that confidence is bringing a lot of optimism with his view of his career, of his life, and all of that, and putting all of that connected. And if you connect all of that, is bringing a lot of creativity in his work, because now he's a lot more confident in his skills, confident in the information he's putting out there, and confident in the way that he's expressing that information. And all of that is allowing him to feel a lot more optimistic, confident, and having to strengthen himself to say, I have the skills, I have the ability, and I have the information that I want to put out there. So it's definitely a boost of self-esteem that he's getting in his career right now, because of the intuitive information that he's getting, the dreams that he's getting, and all of that. Also, we have Jupiter in Pisces, I believe, and because of that, a lot of people have been mentioning it in the astrology world. I'm not an astrologer, but I like to read about astrology. So I've been getting a lot of those things where people are like, oh, Jupiter is in Pisces now, so because of that, people are going to have a lot of important dreams, or important information is going to come in their dreams and stuff like that. So I think that is definitely happening for S Coups. So what's going on with his career? We have Mosaic. I hope I said that right. My brain is just kind of like sleepy right now. So let chance play its creative role in your life. So definitely life is encouraging S Coups to just accept the unknown, go with the flow. Even if he doesn't have all the pieces to the puzzle, to work with that, just allow things to happen as it goes. Because it feels like S Coups is going to get a piece of the puzzle, and he has to work with that. And other people that he will eventually work with in the future will have the other pieces to the puzzle. And with him having one piece, it will shine very brightly when he's very close to the other people that have those other pieces, and he will know who he is working with when he's ready for that. And when the people that he's going to end up working with are ready for that too. So with a mosaic, it definitely feels like there's different pieces that don't seem to fit, but in the when he sees the bigger picture with the other people involved in his career, he will be able to see how things are clearer now and how it all fits together. But for now, it's not going to make sense for him, and he needs to understand that even though he's getting the truth, even though he's getting intuitive messages, he needs to understand that he's not going to get the full image yet. So it's kind of like, just accept that things are happening, even if it seems random to him. It's part of the plan for his career. That seems very interesting, actually. So let's see what else is going on with his career. We have number 15, Maximus. How can you feed others when your own table is empty? This is definitely making me think of his current energy and how we got a lot of things of relaxation, taking some time off, and meditation. So it definitely feels like life is encouraging him to still take some time off and work on himself, take care of himself, and heal himself, because he's getting a lot of downloads and information, so he will be attracting a lot of energies, a lot of people, like moths to a flame. He's just shining bright and people are attracted to his light. However, he doesn't have to give out everything to all of those people. He can, be a little bit selfish and also just, be smart and understand that he can't be giving everything to everyone. He needs some time to himself, energy for himself, and definitely honor himself by saying, putting boundaries up. If there's someone that he doesn't want in his life, push them back. Just respectfully be like, no. No is a powerful answer. So if right now he has to focus on himself, nurture himself, and take care of himself, life is definitely encouraging him to do that, because they don't want him, all the downloads that he's getting, all the intuitive messages that he's going through do take a toll on him, so he will not be definitely 100% to be working with other people or take care of other people's business, because he's very busy just taking care of his own. You know what I just realized? I was going to say, guys, pray that the volume doesn't get messed up on S-Coups reading, because it tends to happen that with him something just goes wrong technology wise, and I was just hoping that wouldn't be the case on his reading. So yeah, so let's just take out some tarot to figure out what's going on in S-Coups' career. A song that I was getting while I was shuffling the cards was the SM temporary girl group thing that they took out. What is it called? Step Back? I don't know what the song's about. I just remember the lyrics was just not it. That doesn't scream girl empowerment to me, but whatever. So anyways, for S-Coups' career, we have the Seven of Swords reverse. He had the Seven of Swords earlier in his current energy, but it was upright. And here it's reversed. So truths are coming up to light. Whatever he may have felt deceived of or betrayed, he's finally understanding the truth and hearing things for what they are. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So he may be struggling to put into action something he wants for his career, or something that he wants it to be long term. Oh look, and then there's the Ace of Cups reversed right underneath it. So it definitely feels like S-Coups is struggling to make a project come through or start something new. He may be struggling a lot to start in this new project because he has a lot of emotional investment in it, and also he seems to maybe struggling to physically manifest it or make it true, or something along those lines. So he wants it to be long lasting, he wants it to be part of his career, but maybe there's some emotional baggage coming through, or there's a lot of emotional weight on it that is making it kind of difficult because of the attachment that he has to the work that he's doing. But truths are coming up to light, and he may know that he has to start on a new project, but something is getting on the way of that new project. Maybe the lack of information, like maybe he doesn't have enough to go through with it, or something along those lines. Let's see what else is going on. We have the Five of Pentacles. So S-Coups feels like he's on his own, like he has to do everything on his own. But we have the Star and the King of Pentacles. So life is definitely saying that he already has the skills necessary to make his dreams come true. And with the Star card, it talks about dreams come true. So whatever it is that is S-Coups' goal, he feels like he can't start it, but because he feels like he's on his own. He feels like he's being left out in the cold. He feels like maybe he lacks the right information, or maybe he lacks the resources to make his dream come true, or there's something that he's definitely lacking and he feels left out on the cold. Like he feels like he doesn't have enough, and now he's on survival mode. And because he's on survival mode, he's focusing so much on staying alive that he can't focus on just creative endeavors, because he's too busy trying to stay alive, that kind of thing, right? Like when you're in survival mode, you can't make art because you're too busy trying to survive, right? That's where he's at. Like maybe he feels like he has to work very hard in his career to the point that he can't focus on himself and then be in that good harmonious spot to create. Here we have the star. So his dream is whatever it is that he's dreaming for, it definitely is going to come true. And with his King of Pentacles, it's kind of saying that he has the maturity, the career, the status, and the the respectability necessary to make this dream come true. So I don't know what project it is that Jesus wants to like start upon, but he definitely has a good backbone or a good foundation to start on that project, because the King of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. The King of Pentacles is mature, grounded, stable, and knowledgeable on how to make money. It's the King of Pentacles has a very good relationship with money. The King of Pentacles is an individual that knows how to work with money, knows how to work with career, knows what it is that they want out of life, and it is an energy that is able to constantly move forward and take action in making their dreams come true. But it's also the energy of someone that knows the value of patience and the value of working with other people and of letting go. So the King of Pentacles is very good at knowing when to take action and when to let go and allow life to do its own thing. So we have the Hierophant reversed. So it seems like Coups is trying to break free from traditions, trying to break free of expectations, trying to break free of something holding him back. Maybe an institution or just bots or labels that he has been put under, because the Hierophant is traditional energy. It's usually sometimes a spiritual leader, but doesn't have to be. In this case, it just feels like it is like Coups has been divinely put in a situation where he feels limited, he feels like trapped and imprisoned in such a way that it's supposed to help him break free of that and create, think outside the box or work within his limitations to create the universe and the life that he wants for himself. So I'm getting like very strong Saturn energies. Like that's kind of what Saturn does. Like, it puts, it cages you up, but it doesn't like lock you up, if that makes sense. Like Saturn puts us in very difficult situations so we can learn from it, break free from it, or grow from those situations. But it's not supposed, Saturn doesn't give people more than they can handle. It always gives the person enough. Saturn, he knows what's up. But with the Hierophant energy, it's actually Taurus energy. So I do feel this sense of having to be consistently persistent. Here we have a 5, so a lot of changes are coming through for Coups in his career, and life is just telling him that he will have to be very persistent to make it happen and work through all of that. The next card that we have is the 4 of Pentacles. So whatever attachments Coups has, he needs to let go of them. Usually the 4 of Pentacles talks about someone that is holding on to his 4 of Pentacles to the point that he can't move anywhere because he's trying to hold on to it so tightly. So I do feel that Coups has to let go of ideas that are not working for him, baggage that is getting in the way, and by doing that, he will allow himself to have enough room to move forward and take action and be able to have the freedom that he truly craves. So last message for Coups' career. Oh, we have Death reverse again. There's this sense of not resisting to change. So it seems like what Coups is resisting to change is to let go of the baggage that is not allowing him to make his dreams come true in his career and to start those new projects. He's hearing the truth about something, and I feel that truth is spiritual. I don't think that truth is about how the industry works, or the truth is not about his co-workers, or it's not about the future of the group or anything like that, or even the future within his career. It is just that he's hearing the truth of what he really wants. His subconscious is screaming at him. His spiritual team is telling him the path that he has written for himself, and he seems to not want to look at it, or he doesn't want to listen to it, or he is not fully understanding the message. but he definitely has a feeling of something not being right. So I do feel that he has to let go of some sort of baggage or some sort of limitation that's holding him back and creating the sense of lacking. And if he doesn't do that, if he continues staying in this stagnant energy or continue working on the traditional path that he knows, he will just be resisting the transformation that life is encouraging and even putting out there for him, because he has gotten death twice and they've both have been reversed. So I do feel that life is definitely encouraging him to let go of something and just get on with his transformation. It's not going to be easy, it's not going to be fun, and he knows that, and I think that's why he's resisting that change. But it will definitely be beneficial to his career, because he will be able to see things clearly, see the truth, and make his dreams come true, as we have the star right at the middle of his reading. So with all of that said in Scoop's career, let's jump into his love life and see what's going on there. So what's going on in Scoop's love life? So we have detox, cleanse and restore yourself. So Scoops definitely has to work on himself. We have heads, be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. So with the song that I got for Scoops randomly, I do feel that maybe there was a fight, like maybe he was fighting fighting with someone to get his love interest, or someone was fighting for him somehow in love. And there may be some resentments or some nasty arguments and fights going through in his love life potentially. And the last card that we have from this deck is Nas with feel loved and proud. So I do feel that maybe Scoops could have been discouraged somehow with like the arguments going on in his love life. Like things may have not been working out, or maybe Scoops was hanging out with some toxic people, or maybe his love life is not necessarily in the best position right now, and because of that he is struggling to ground himself, struggling to see things clearly, or just struggling to get rid of that. Here with this detox card, I'm getting the strong energy of the Three of Swords reverse that we saw in his current energy, which I knew it was going to be in his love life, but it took me a while to realize that though. I thought it was about partnerships business wise, not romantic partners, but here we are. But feel loved and proud. Life is definitely encouraging Scoops to put himself first, love himself, take care of himself, and be proud of who he is and the path that he has gone through, and not necessarily focus on the fights that he may have had in his love life. With this heads card, I'm getting a very strong resentment, betrayal, and fights and arguments. So I do feel like he may have had a very nasty relationship that he has not been able to let go of. Like it had a very big impact on him, and with that detox it feels like he has to let go of that, or else things are not going to be working that well in his love life. I actually wanted this one. So we have Bright Eye Wisdom. So it seems like Scoops has grown from the issues that he may have encountered in that love life, and he's learning, growing, and understanding his relationships better. I'll take this one. We have the Angel of Death, again, transformation. There is a very big sense of Scoops having to transform, change, and see things differently, or being able to just let go of the old and bring in the new, and have the Phoenix Rising necessary for him, because he is neglecting the Death card in his love life. In his career and his current energy, and in his love life, it did not come reversed, even though it could, but it didn't, because I don't read reversals in this Oracle deck. The next card that we have is the Angel of Divination and the Left Hand Judgment. So with the Angel of Divination, it really feels like in his love life he's being divinely guided to heal, understand, and grow. And with the Left Hand of Judgment, I'm getting very strong, like in tarot there's an oracle card, Major Arcana called Judgment, and it's the second to last one in the Major Arcana, and it's supposed to symbolize again a rebirth, because that card represents Pluto energy. It's supposed to talk about a wake-up call, an angel that has a trumpet, or some brass instrument that is waking up the dead, and it's supposed to symbolize people that are having a sort of awakening. It's having a sense of spiritual awakening and having more self-awareness and understanding how the universe works and how we work with the universe, that type of energy. So with this left hand judgment and the angel of divination, it kind of feels like S-Coups is understanding the spiritual path and the spiritual growth and the other point of view as to why he had to go through that experience and what that means to him. And in a way, it may have brought a lot more eye-opening information, but at the same time brought a lot of difficulties in understanding why things had to be the way that they have to be. Like he may have had an eye-opening situation that was a bit difficult for him to accept. So let's see what's going on with this group's love life. We have Taurus, so slow and steady, wins the race. Beautiful energy, or like a beautiful individual, someone that was very grounded, caring, and nurturing. Someone that may be a bit more physical and materialistic, because Taurus is Venus energy, but it is more from an earth perspective. So luxuries, money, quality items are kind of big for Taurus. Also with this Taurus energy, we're talking about someone that is very stubborn. So I do feel that S-Coups could have had fights with someone that was very, very stubborn, someone that liked to live a luxurious life, or someone that was very stable and knew who they were. But maybe things didn't end up that well with S-Coups. I mean, if you have a Taurus sun and S-Coups is a Leo sun, you have squares. You have a square right there. 2 fifth signs. So super stubborn. This could be talking about a person or just an energy in the relationship though. So S-Coups could have been very stubborn and this other person as well, and that's why they clashed heads. They could have been enjoying a lot of life and maybe had a lot of stability, but things were not working out. Like it took a while for the relationship to end. The next card that we have right here is Uranus. So this card is talking about seeing things differently, being able to think outside the box. Uranus is very good about communication, very good about connecting different people, connecting the individual to their community and to their their outside world of sorts. Also, Uranus is very good about, it talks about technology. So I do feel that, and this is the planet that rules Aquarius, another 5th sign. So I do feel that maybe S-Coups had like a lot of communication with someone online or through technology, or there's a sense of maybe through technology S-Coups will meet someone in his love life. Like that's a hint of how he will meet the person that he's looking for, or technology is important somehow, and he's going to meet someone in a very different and unique way. So this difficulty or hardship that he went through is part of the path of that he will have to go through to meet the person that he's going to be happy with. The last card that we have from the zodiac one is Leo energy. So yeah, it feels like there was a Leo and a Taurus energy involved with a little bit of Aquarius, so super 5th sign. A bunch of 5th energy. So 5th energy is I thought I saw Scorpio on the bottom. I was about to say colmo. Anyway, but with 5th energy, we're talking about individuals that whatever it is that they believe in, it's very hard to shake them off those beliefs. It's people that are very grounded in not only what they believe in, but the actions that they take, what it is that they value, whatever it is that they were working towards. They're unshakable, right? 5th energy is very grounded like that. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take some tea leaf. Let's spill the tea with S-Coups love life. Like, what's going on there? We have a crown. Honor and respect will come to you. So definitely something good is going to happen in his love life. There's just some baggage that he has to work towards or through. Here we have fire, strong emotions, passion, love, or hate. So definitely if he had like a love-hate relationship with a past individual, he has to work through that and let go of that, so like that he has a clean slate for somebody else that he could have like bickering or love or passionate relationship with whoever's coming next. Here we have Arcway with new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. So yeah, it definitely feels like in Scoop's love life, something new is happening, something good, something that he can look forward to, but it's still in the works. It's still it's getting there. It's not 100% there, but it's definitely in the works. So let's see what's going on with Scoop's love life. We have the Three of Pentacles. He could meet this individual at work, or when he, because I talked about this in his current energy. It was the second to last card in that section. So it definitely feels that Scoops could meet his love life or someone, or like a romantic interest or a love potential in his work, or when he has reached enough information and enough expertise to be at the leading branch of his whatever projects he's going to embark upon. So yeah, when he's working with people that are experts at their field, he's going to meet someone that is going to be an equal to him. So also an expert, but in a different area. So he can definitely learn and grow with that individual and see things, I guess, broaden their horizons, their minds, and their perspectives because of how different they are, but be equals, right? Because I do feel that Scoops can't be with someone that he doesn't see and respect and see as an equal. We have Justice, so definitely someone that will balance him, someone that he could even end up marrying, because Justice talks about, I don't really see Justice as marriage. I don't. But seeing how this person is kind of like dressed in white made me think of that. But also Justice talks about legal stuff. It talks about court, going to court and stuff like that. But also when you talk about legal stuff in the romantic sense, that can mean like legalizing a partnership, almost like getting married or something along those lines. So he could be getting married, or he could be ending up with someone that balances him out, brings harmony within his life, or someone that he respects and sees as a strong individual that he would like to share his life with. Let's see anything more going on in Scoop's love life. 2 cards came up. We have the Queen of Cups reversed and the Wheel. So things are still on the works. Things are still moving around, and it feels like his Queen of Cups, whoever it is that he will end up with, that person's not ready yet. Here with the Queen of Cups, we have Scorpio energy. So 5th signs are all here, kind of present. Some stronger than others. But with this Queen of Cups reversed, it feels like whoever he's going to end up with... Oh, look, and we have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. Whoever he's going to end up with is not ready for the relationship. Which, if I'm correct, that's kind of what came through in his love life. The last time that we... Well, the last time I did his individual reading, which was technically the first one. He definitely felt like his partner was not ready. So whoever he's destined to be with, that person is still not ready. It's been 1.5 years and the person's still not ready for a relationship. I don't know what that person could be going through, that's why they're not ready, but it's definitely there. And it's definitely a new opportunity that Scoops is going to be very happy with, because he's going to feel like communication just flows, because with the Lovers we have Gemini energy, so information goes through very easily. Communication is very important, and its self-expression is very clear. It's working. Here we have the Wheel with Jupiter energy, and Jupiter talks about expansion. It feels like an expansion of mind, new perspective, seeing the bigger image. Here with the Queen of Cups, when it's upright, we're talking about a very intuitive individual with a lot of self-respect, very attractive, someone that takes no bullshit from anyone, has very healthy boundaries. So it definitely feels like Scoops is going to get someone like that, but that person's not ready. Seems like their boundaries are still a bit shaky. Seems like their intuition is still not on point, and seems like this individual can't speak their truth yet. So it seems like Scoops is still... Like, he's not finding his partner because his partner's not ready. Like, there's still growth that the partner has to go through. Also, with the Lovers, we're talking about individuals that, the Lovers is number 6, and number 6 talks about equal give and take. And here we have Justice, which talks about, again, equality, balance, and harmony. And I don't know if there was another card that gave us... Yeah, I think that was it. I don't know if there was another card that talked about equality or balance and all of that. So what's going on with Scoop's love life? Okay, I'll take those. Oh, look, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. So yeah, in his love life, things are going to eventually get better. It's not time for that yet, but they will get better. We have the Nine of Wands. So a moon in Sagittarius. There's still work that Escoops has to do. There's still like some baggage going on with him, or like with the Nine of Wands, we have someone that has someone that's very cautious, someone that has seen things. So let's just put it here, like whatever arguments and difficulties he had in a past relationship, that baggage is still with him, and because of that, his guard is up. He's still in the defensive. He's still in survival mode, still protecting himself, and because of that, it has caused him to be in a situation where his walls are up. So he is not open to being with other people yet. Here we have the Six of Swords. He's slowly walking away from that. Here we have Mercury in Aquarius. So he's slowly walking away and detaching himself from those problems. So he's definitely doing his best to walk away from that situation and grow from it, rather than continuing to allow the baggage to put those walls up. But he's still in the process of that though. Here we have the Star reverse. So even I do feel that this difficulty, even though Escoops is slowly walking away from that and trying to reach a more optimistic, happier, and relaxed energy, with the Star reverse, it tells me that he has no hope that things are going to get better because of how hard this relationship may have been and how much baggage he has now with him. You know, here the guy is carrying all six swords on his back in a bag, in a backpack. So Scoops is carrying that baggage with him, and those thoughts and those ideas are still very clear and very ingrained in his brain, and that's creating him to not believe in his dreams coming true, or believing that the magic is not there. So whatever relationship he went through, it kind of took a toll on him. The next card that we have is the Two of Pentacles reverse. Scoops is out of balance. That easy. Here we have Jupiter in Capricorn, so his expansion is definitely very limited. He's limiting it to traditional thoughts, to ideas that are not working for him, and instead of bending the rules so he can work with what he knows, but also work in and be in a space where he's content with, he's just creating this like place that's keeping him out of balance. So he's definitely out of balance, out of harmony, and he can't move forward because he can't juggle what he believes things have to be, but also what he is comfortable with. He's still struggling to juggle those two energies. And here we have the Hierophant again. Here we have the Hierophant reversed. So here it definitely feels like Scoops is struggling to let go of tradition, let go of the normalcy, let go of society's expectations on how things should work. So again, traditions. See, he can't let go of that, and because of that, it's like eating him alive almost. Yeah, here we have the, let me just make sure, yeah, it's the Eight of Swords reverse. So it definitely feels like Scoops is aware that he can get out of the mental prison that he put himself in, but he's still struggling a little bit because he still has a lot of baggage he's working through. So in his love life, he's working through some baggage, and whatever romantic partner is out there for him, that individual is working on finding harmony for themselves, and also, becoming the person that they have to become in order to be unequal to Scoops, if that makes sense. And Scoops definitely has a lot of baggage to go through, so he can put his walls down and then be open, loving Leo energy that he has inside of him, and not the toxic Leo that he could become if he continues with this baggage, right? Insecure, overbearing, and even cold sometimes when a Leo is not okay. But I mean, I think that goes with everyone, right? If you're not okay, you can, anyone can be quite difficult. But I'm just talking about Leo because Scoops is a Leo sun. That's it. But yeah, let's jump into his healing messages and let's see what happens there. So for Scoops healing messages, let's start with the spiritual animal oracle. I feel like I can hear music in the distance, but I can't really make out the words or what song it is, so I can't tell you if that's a message or not. I just feel that it's like if I was inside a bubble, or if I was underwater and I could hear music. That's kind of what it feels like. So that could be important. So healing messages for Scoops. So the first card that came out is the Eagle Spirit reverse with Spirit has your back. So even if Scoops doesn't believe in it, he is divinely protected and taken care of. So maybe the card could come up, but one of the cards here, there is a card that talks about divine detours. Yeah, I don't know which one it is, but it's a card that is supposed to talk about when things don't go the way that you expect them is for a reason. So with Spirit has your back, with it in reverse, it feels like Scoops doesn't trust in that message. But with the Eagle Spirit, we're talking about a bird that has a very different perspective from us. You know, bird eye view, that type of thing. So with the Eagle Spirit, there's a sense of, even if Scoops doesn't believe in it, even if he doesn't trust it, life is definitely taking care of him. The universe is taking care of him. His ancestors, people's prayers for him, like, you know, people that wish him well or stuff like that. Those things are taking care of him. You know, they're creating a network or a safety net for him to like bounce off from whenever he needs it. So the Spirit has your back is a sense of like, if Scoops were to take a leap of faith, life will be there to catch him. When things are not working out, is for a reason. Like, life put those blockages for a reason. And if it is to change him in the right direction, and by the right direction, it could be whatever Scoops wants in his life. So let's say he's like, I want my career to be like this and that. But he doesn't realize that the path that he's taking for, you know, his point of view is like, if I continue doing this, I'll get that. But life is like, no, we can get you that, and even better if you go down a different path. The one that you see is one that's going to bring you a lot of hardships, and it's unnecessary. So I do feel that this Eagle Spirit reverse is just kind of mentioning that kind of mentality. The next card that we have is the Giraffe Spirit reversed, which says, see the bigger picture. See the big picture. So I don't think I have to explain much about this, because that's what the Eagle Spirit is talking about. Having the different point of view, having the bird's eye view, having to see things from a different perspective that allows, you know, this kind of reminds me of the cards that Scoops got in his career. That was very big. You know, truths coming out and all of this imagery in such a way that Scoops is getting bits and pieces of the truth and the information of like the bigger picture, his life path, his contract, you know, his soul contract and stuff like that. Like, life is showing him bits and pieces of that. So he's seeing the truth, but not the whole picture. And that's because it's not time for him, or he will not even understand it. You know, it has happened to me a couple of times. Like, I think when I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, before I even started watching it, when it went to Netflix, I was like seeing stuff on Twitter, people were talking about it, and one of them contained a lot of spoilers, and I just kind of skimmed through it. But to me, the spoilers didn't make sense, or they didn't carry any value to me, because I hadn't even started watching it. So when they were talking about names and when they were talking about people, those names didn't register. They didn't mean nothing to me. And then when I was watching the actual show, those spoilers didn't come. Like, I didn't remember them. Like, oh yeah, I remember reading about this. All I remember was like, oh, it's funny, I read the spoilers, but they were not spoilers to me because they didn't mean nothing to me. So now that I watched the show, it's like if I hadn't gotten anything spoiled. So this is kind of what it feels like, you know. Even if life gives Scoops all the pieces, if he's not there yet, or he doesn't have enough knowledge and understanding on how those paths will come to be, they will mean nothing to him, and he will even disregard some information. So I do feel that sometimes life may give us information that we go like, what does this mean? I don't know, and then we throw it away. And then if we wrote it down somewhere, even like, let's say you have a dream, and I think with Scoops this is a big thing because he got that in his career. Let's say he has a dream and he disregards it as just being a dream, you know, like dreams are strange, weird, and whatever. But if he wrote it down, just, you know, just for reference, like, oh, I'll just write it down because that was a strange dream. Maybe later on, maybe a year or two later, or maybe a couple days later, something will happen in his waking life, or he will gather more information that he's going to be like, wait, that reminds me of that dream. And when he reads back on that dream, you know, that strange dream that he disregarded and just went like, oh, whatever, when he reads it, he's going to be like, wait a minute, this makes sense now, right? Because now he has more pieces to connect those, right? So it definitely feels that with the Giraffe Spirit reverse, it's like right now he doesn't see things clearly, but one day he will. Just that time is not now. The next card that we have is a koala spirit, with spirit has a plan. So this is very big. Spirit has a plan, and giving those pieces to Scoops and sprinkling them for him is part of that plan. Scoops not understanding it is one as well. The difficulties in his love life, those are part of the plan. It definitely feels like whatever he's going through, a lot of it's faded. But with a koala spirit, it definitely feels like things are going slowly. Like everything is slowly unraveling for him. Everything is taking its time. It's going down the process that it has to go through. So Scoops will not see the changes until it goes its course. It's gonna take a while. The next card that we have is the ant spirit reverse, with time to collaborate. Okay, with it in reverse, it definitely makes me think of his current energy. Like eventually Scoops will have to collaborate with someone, as we saw with the Three of Pentacles, but it's definitely not time yet because he hasn't reached the information, knowledge, and skills necessary to be able to collaborate with the people that he needs to collaborate with. But it also feels, again, puzzle pieces. There's not enough information. The puzzle pieces have not been set yet, and with his ants working together, it definitely feels like it's a lot of hard work that's going to come through, and a lot of hard work that will have to be put into this project. So there's also a chance that the people that he's going to end up working with, they're not ready to. They may be lacking knowledge and skills as well. So it definitely feels like he's getting information of the people he's going to end up working with, but it's definitely not time yet because not everyone is ready. We have the turtle spirit reverse, with slow and steady wins the race. So yeah, it seems like life is just telling Scoops to slow down, to take his time. Oh, you know what I thought of? I think not all, some species of turtles. Can you tell I don't know much about animals? Some of them are faster in water than they are in land. So I was thinking of how Earth represents, the physical world, the material world, the 3D, grounded, being rooted and all of that stuff. But I was thinking that maybe it will be slower for things to manifest physically, but if Scoops wants to dive into his intuitive side or just go with the flow of his emotions, things are gonna work out nicer. So if he doesn't, so the best way that Scoops will be able to resist, or not put resistance into his destiny and his fate, is to just go with the flow of the emotions. Just allow life to take its course, and he's just going with it. Healing messages for Scoops. So we have the badger spirit with be fearless and bold. Definitely life is telling him to be courageous and be stable and grounded. Stand his ground, but to not be afraid. I thought there was another card underneath, but no, that was the shadow. And the other card that he got was the antelope spirit. Life is speeding up, but it's reversed. So I do feel that when life is ready, but when life has prepared everything and is ready to tell Scoops to go, Scoops needs to be brave and just take action. I do feel that things are going to move very quickly when it's the right time, but it definitely feels like it's going to take a while for the right time to come, right? And by that, what I mean by the right time is like the right people are in the right place. The energies are perfect for things to happen, and the right time may not feel right for Scoops, or like fears and stuff can still get in the way when the right time comes. Let's put it that way. But it definitely feels like he has to be ready for when that time comes, even if he doesn't know what's ahead of him, even if he is filled with worries of the unknown. Life is definitely encouraging him to be ready when that happens. When they give him the green light, he has to be ready. So healing messages for Scoops. To close off his reading, let's take some tea leaves. I don't know about that. I'll take that one though. So many cards fell. I was like, oh hell no. Here we have bots with you will receive a gift. So when time is ready, Scoops will get rewards. Or a gift could just be clarity, honestly. whatever the gift is, let's hope it's something good. But is that with that being inside a box, it feels like it's divinely protected right now. Like no one's gonna take it away from him, but he can't take it until he's ready. Or until it's time. So we have haystack with karma. You will reap what you have sown. So it definitely feels like with time, things are going to come out to the truth. It definitely feels like whenever is the right time, things are going to come through. If Scoops continue working on himself, he'll definitely get some good karma. And if not, cause and effect. If he hasn't worked through his baggage, life will force him to work through that baggage anyway. If it's necessary, life will force him to work through that. And if not, he'll just go through a cycle of experiencing the same lessons in a different way, in order to learn what he has to learn. So that's what cycles tend to be, going through like similar situations until we understand the message and the lesson and grow from that. The next card that he has is Vulture. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So there was a sense of that in his love life. So maybe he's aware that the situation was so bad that things could not work out nicely. He may be worried about that. The next card that we have is Arrow. You are in the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So if things were not working out for Scoops in some area of his life, the message here is that it had to happen. Whatever experiences he had to learn from it, or whatever difficulties he's encountering, it was for a reason. The next card that we have is Ats, forces working against you. So this is giving me very strong Five of Pentacles energy. We saw this earlier in his reading, how he feels left out, betrayed, and alone. He feels like he's being left out in the cold, and that feels like the worst working against him. So he's in survival mode right now. The next card that we have is Cracked Cup with dissatisfaction with life. Yeah, feeling the betrayal, being left out in the cold, and all of that has made Scoops lose faith in the universe, or lose faith that there's any good out there for him, or stuff like that. So life is definitely encouraging him to not feel that bad, to not take it the wrong way. It's part of his healing, part of his contract, soul contract. That's what I mean. Not contract as in his career. I mean like his soul contract. Like those are the lessons that he has to learn, then he'll learn them despite how difficult it is. Right? Healing messages for Scoops. Oh, well. So we have Carrot. So oh look guys, this is us with opportunity or windfall. So something good could happen, or another divine detour could happen. Next we have Shark with take care, or there will be a loss of material wealth. Maybe life is telling him to not be reckless with his money. I just don't know why. Maybe making the wrong investments. I don't know. I don't see how that connects with the rest of his reading, so that could just be an important message for him. And we're just not aware of how that connects. Okay, depending on how many cards it is, I'll take them. Okay, I'll take them all. So we have Tiger with doing something risky, taking a chance. So life is telling him to not be reckless and be careful with what he's doing. To think things through, analyze before taking action. Broken bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. So definitely life is telling him to be careful. There could be an issue that he will encounter, and he has to be careful and not doing something reckless, because it might not work out. Next we have Feather. Someone is undependable and insincere. So I feel that if there's some investments, he needs to be careful who he trusts, to use his intuition. He could be working with someone that doesn't know how to manage money, or someone that has a lot of blank promises. Like whatever it is that they promise, it's not good. Anyways, Hammock, we have taken a vacation, physical or mentally. So yeah, it seems like life is encouraging Scoops to take some time off. That's the Four of Swords energy that we saw somewhere in his reading. I don't know which part this time. And the last card that we have is Fly, a period of ill health, depression. So I do feel life is definitely telling him to be careful with a problem or a situation out there, because that could create a collapse of sorts. It could create Escoops to feel bad, like he can't trust himself or rely on himself, because I'm getting the words of, like, someone that starts being like, oh, why didn't I see this earlier? Why was I so stupid in believing in this person? How could I trust this individual? That type of thing. So I do feel that if this problem does end up coming through, I do feel that Escoops could be very hard on himself, and that could lead him to have a very difficult time coping with the problem in the situation. I do feel that if he trusts his intuition, he'll be able to either avoid this problem altogether, or be able to work through the situation and slowly, maybe not have such a bad problem as it could have been, or being able to work through it to solve it in a very good way. So that there's definitely a warning of something bad going through for Escoops, and he has to be careful with who he trusts and how he manages his money and who he works with to manage that money. Anyway, I'll leave that there for Escoops. I hope you like this reading. I do feel that this was more in depth and a lot more something that I'm a lot more proud of. I definitely feel a lot more confident with this reading. I felt very in tuned, straightforward, grounded, and concentrated, and very focused. So I'm very happy for that. And I hope my younger sister really likes this reading. I mean, she's a fan of Escoops, so of course, if she requests it, there's a higher chance it'll come through. Even if it takes me longer, even if it takes me like a while to go through with it and make it happen, she can bother me in person all the time and be like, so when are you gonna do it? I want Escoops Part 2. Which she has said multiple times. And that's why this reading came through. So yeah, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys were able to learn from it and send some good vibes to Escoops so everything goes well. That's a form of protecting him and taking care of him. Sending him, good energy to make sure that he's okay. And let's hope that things go well for him. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for all the love, and bye.